Good morning, second grade, and welcome to language class again. Today we are thinking about lesson 4, so you may go ahead and open up to lesson 4 a while. We will do some review first of all before we go into today's lesson. And so let's think about capitalization. Do you remember all the rules for capitalizing things? So I'm not going to go over everything today again because we just went over that a few days ago, but try to remember all the rules for capitalizing things. Today we have about names of countries. And let's go over the holidays that we had recently. So holidays, all the holidays, every day in a holiday gets capitalized. And so these are all the holidays that we learned about. So let's review some suffix rules for adding suffixes. We're going to for sure review 9, 10, and 11. So number 9, it says when a word ends with FE, change FE to VE and add S, like knife, it gets changed to knives. Number 10, when a word ends with F, change F to V and add ES, like leaf, you change the F to V and add ES. Number 11, when a word ends with FF and S, when a word ends with FF, just add S, like cuff, you will just add S at the end. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about quotations. Do you still remember what quotations are? Quotations are those little things that curl around the exact words of the speaker. Let's look over here on the board. We have a sentence here, and we want to add quotation marks in the correct place where it goes. It says, I saw a duckling, said Callie, and it was going to the creek. So the exact words of Callie would have been, I saw a duckling. So we'll put quotation marks there. And then this sentence is missing a comma somewhere. And it's right after said Callie, so we need a comma in there. We will not capitalize the next word. In quotation sentences, you don't capitalize the next word like after these words, and you're starting to have exact words again of the speaker, like the words that the speaker's talking about. You will not need to capitalize it, so you just go ahead and add quotation marks to the rest of the things that Callie was saying there. Okay, and let's think about some things about the dictionary. Do you still remember the 3 parts of the dictionary? So the 3 parts of the dictionary, I'll just show you some things here. The front part of the dictionary is words that start with A through F. The middle part of the dictionary is words that start with G through P. That's the middle part. And the back part is Q through Z. So whenever you go to open up a dictionary and you have G words, you just kind of like open up the dictionary towards the middle. Whenever you're looking for a Q word, then you'll go a little bit more towards the back, and like that, so you don't have to page quite as much trying to find your word. So now looking into our lesson for today, we have names of countries. And do you all know what a country is? A country, the meaning of a country is a large stretch of land or a nation where many people live. So what for country do we live in? Well, here on the board we have a sentence, we'll just fill it in. We live in the country of United States is our country. So we'll write United States in here. And a period at the end. So United States is our country. I'll show you here on the globe a little bit where United States is. And you might remember from history class, we talked about this. So United States is all these colored states right here. This is the United States. And then the 2 countries bordering United States is Canada is up here and Mexico is down here. Those are also countries. So there's all kinds of different countries. We learned in history about India. India is a country, and that's over on the other side of the world. So right here's India. That's a country. And if you look in South America is what we call a continent, and it's made up of a bunch of different countries. Like we have Peru and Brazil and Bolivia, Chile, Argentina, Paraguay. So South America is made up of a bunch of different countries, and North America is made up of 3 different countries. So it would be United States, Canada, and Mexico. 3 different countries in North America. Okay, so now I hope you have your books all open, and we're going to read the teaching box in your language arts book. So you can have your books ready and open to page 13, and we will read the teaching box there. So you can follow along as I read. It says, names of countries. There are many countries in the world. You can see some of them on a globe or map. Names of countries always begin with capital letters too. So whenever you write names of countries, you will use a capital letter for them because they're like main nouns. Names of places. And then they have there in the box, they have different countries: United States, Canada, Kenya, Brazil, and India. All those are countries. Okay, going to part A, it says to find your country on a globe. We'll do that together, so you can have your pencils ready, and we'll do part A together. It says to find your country on a globe and write its name. Well, we found it on the globe already. I'll just show you again. Right here is United States, and you can go ahead and find it too on your globe at home. If you have one at home, you can find United States and write its name. So the name of United States, if you're not sure how to spell it, the name is up there in the teaching box. So you can just look up in the teaching box for the name. Okay, going to part B. Let's go to part B there. And it says to write the names of these countries correctly. Number 2 is Mexico. And I'm just going to show you where all these countries are. So Mexico is right underneath the United States right here. That is Mexico. And so when you go to write it on your paper, make sure you follow the rules for writing the countries. And then number 3 says Canada, which Canada's up here above United States. Number 4 is Ireland. Ireland is over in the other side of the world, over in Europe. And Ireland is this little green part right here. About right here by England. It's a little bit of green. That's Ireland. Number 5 says El Salvador. El Salvador is in Central America. And so El Salvador is underneath Mexico. It's this real little wee section. I think it's kind of like orange. It's really tiny there. There's El Salvador. Number 6 says Romania. Romania is in Europe again, so we'll turn the globe to Europe and find Romania. Romania is the green section right here in Europe. Okay, so those are all countries, and there's many countries in the world. There's only 7 continents, but they are divided up in different countries, so that's what country means. Let's go now to part C. You may follow your directions for part C. It's talking about quotations, and you're going to finish the quotation, like think up of an interesting thing that matches the first part of the sentence and fill it in the blank there. So yeah, follow your directions for part C. Let's go to creative writing. Creative writing is on page 14, and so you have now 2 more days to finish reading your books. So if you are finished reading your books, that's fine. If you're not, you should try to finish them within the 2 days. Try to finish reading your books. So for today in creative writing, you're going to, it says to read your library book for 15 minutes. So again, you can read your library book for 15 minutes. And then part E, it says to write something that happened in your book. So anything that you think was important that happened in your book, anything that you especially liked, you can put in. Try to make it a complete sentence with interesting words for this sentence. And yeah, just try to think of an important happening or anything that you really liked about the book, and you can write that on the sentence there. Okay, let's go to we remember. I'm just going to go over that a little bit with you. We're going to talk about elephants today. It says to build this sentence by adding describing words to the noun and a phrase to tell where or when. So we have elephant carried, and they want describing words in there. So if you think about an elephant, you can describe an elephant. And so I'll let you think about what for describing words you could use for that. And then it says to tell what or where or when. So you can also tell what an elephant carried. Like elephants, they carry stuff with their trunk sometimes. And some things that they like to carry is big logs. They can carry logs that weigh up to 600 pounds with their trunk. So you could say he carried logs, and then you will also tell when or where he carried the logs. So try to be exact in your sentence and see how interesting of a sentence you can come up with for that part. Okay, going to penmanship now. We will review the X, Q, and Y today. So you can look here on the board and we'll review those three letters. So X's, we go like this. We start up here at the top line and go down like that. And then we go like this and curve over here and go like that. That's an X. Now Y's, actually Q's, let's do next. A Q is kind of like a fancy tube. And Y's are like this. Okay, so those are your review for your cursive letters. And your sentence today is, it says, Xenia named her puppies Quincy and Yips. So Xenia is the name of a girl, and Quincy and Yips were her puppies' names. So yeah, remember to have good posture when you do your penmanship and try to do it very neatly. Let's go now to spelling. So I'm going to read the teaching box there, and you can follow along. It's on page 16, on the bottom of page 16, spelling. It says, it's for adding rules for writing certain words in a plural form. So it says and we went over this in our suffix chart, but I'll just go over it again with you. It says, when a word ends with FF, add S. So if your word ends with FF, like cuff, just add S to make it more than one cuffs. When a word ends with F, change the F to V and add ES. So like calf, and you want to make that plural, well, you'll change the F to V and add ES, calves. When a word ends with FE, change the FE to VE and add S. So we have like the word knife. So we want to make it more than one knife. We'll change the F to V and add ES, knives. Okay, and then you can write your spelling words then. You can do spelling, and you're going to be writing the plural word for each singular word, following those rules there. And then part N, write section 1 spelling words on other paper. So that would be good practice to keep on with that. And so you can go ahead with that then. Yeah, okay. I think that's everything for today. I hope you have a good day.